We've already looked at conditional activities. Next, I'd like to introduce you to completion tracking and show you a little bit of what that's all about. For students, it clearly shows what activities or resources have been completed or viewed and what they still have left to do. So it minimizes confusion that can often arise from a long course page. It's also beneficial for teachers because it can ensure that tasks are completed before a student moves on. So I'm going to click Turn Editing On. The first thing that should be done is if you click on Edit Settings for the course, you're going to want to enable completion tracking. So where it says Student Progress Completion Tracking, make sure that it says Enabled Control via Completion and Activity Settings, and then click Save Changes. It's possible that that will already be done for you, but it's something that you're going to want to check before you begin using this feature. So let's suppose that I want to make my Lesson 3 set up for completion tracking. So I'm going to click on the update icon, scroll down to the bottom of the screen where it says Activity Completion. Completion tracking. By default it will say do not indicate activity completion. I'm going to change it to show activity as complete when conditions are met. This means that when the conditions are met from the conditional activities block right up here, which the student has to receive a 100% to move on, the system will automatically apply a check mark next to the lesson indicating that it is complete. Another option is to say that students can manually mark the activity as completed. That's something that they can do on their own. It kind of adds some responsibility to the learning process, but it's also a risk because students might just mark the checkbox when they haven't actually completed the assignment in the proper way. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to say show activity as complete when conditions are met. Then I'm going to say the student must receive a grade to complete this activity. It is possible in some cases that you might just have the student view an activity in order to consider it complete. That might be for a resource such as a PDF file or a URL or something like that. You could set a due date so that if they complete it after that date it won't actually be considered complete because it's too late. But I'm just going to leave it as is, click Save and Return to Course. So that was Lesson 3 that I set up. I also want to show you how I can make a discussion forum set up for activity completion. If I say show activity as complete when conditions are met, I can click Require Posts. Students must post discussions or replies, and then this is how many. So for this, I've asked you to make one initial post and then respond to how many different people did I say? Please describe at least one. I didn't say. But I'm going to say that you should make a response to somebody else. So I'm going to say you have to have at least 2 posts. Save and return. So in order for a green check mark to appear, the user is going to have to make 2 posts in that forum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out and I'm going to log back in as a student and then show you how the completion tracking works on the student end. Okay, so there's some things that the student already did, because I was playing around with it before. But let me go into the discussion, because that's something that the student hasn't done yet. And I'm going to make 2 posts. Just have the student reply to his or herself. So now that 2 posts are made, I'm going to go back and use the breadcrumb, and you can see that there's a check mark there now indicating that I'm finished with that. I can see a drawback with setting it up this way, because perhaps that you want a student to make 5 posts per week or something like that, and after they make 5, if they see that that check mark is there, they might not ever go back and read any of the other posts. So in that case, I can see the manual option being better, so that they can mark it off whenever they feel that they're ready. Just a thought. But I'm going to go down to lesson 3 and go through that, and we'll see if a check mark appears when the student is finished. And there it is. So that's how completion tracking works, and it does work in conjunction with conditional activities, so you're going to want to be aware of that. And thank you for watching, and make sure you practice that in your practice course.